So, you know PSAs and the Loud House, right? First, I'll start off with PSAs. Basically, they're just public service announcements about things like don't drink while drunk and don't use guns, don't text while driving, drive safely, and more. Except I saw a Smurfs PSA yesterday on YouTube and related to the story, but if you guys want, I can at least try to explain it in the fan feed. It traumatized me, it still gives me chills today, but we're getting off topic. Now, the Loud House. Oh wait, I already explained it 4 times. Why do it again, right? Anyway, there used to be a PSA about the Loud House about texting and driving the year before it was supposed to release. It was first seen in 2015 if you couldn't read the title. It was aired on Cartoon Network to scare people away from Cartoon Network. However, Cartoon Network realized it wasn't for kids. Despite it not having a lot of gore, it had a lot of blood and death. It spooked people and they changed it to either Nickelodeon or Disney Channel. The strange thing is, however, it also aired on Disney Channel. I guess Nickelodeon wanted to scare people away from the Disney Channel to Nickelodeon, the only place it never aired. It was only found on May 24th, 2015. And it aired once and it was banned forever for traumatizing kids with fear of driving, causing multiple phone calls about that. Disney Channel and Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network had enough of the phone calls and they pulled it out of the air. And they tried to make it kids stop fearing cars and tried to get at least to do whatever they can, even if that means removing the Loud House off the air for the half year of 2016. They did, and by that, kids stopped having the fear when they watched the Loud House, and they forgot all about it then. But they do get this strange feeling when they see Lori driving, but they ignored it. So they stopped airing PSAs other than that breakfast one. You know that one. Anyway, let's get into it. It started with Lori and Lincoln driving across a bridge. That was fun, Lincoln said happily. I agree. It was literally the most fun I ever had, Lori responded. Then after 13 seconds of talking about how much fun they had and that she got a text on her phone, she somehow ignored the fact she was driving and crashed when they got out of the road and smashed into a tree. Blood splattered from Lincoln, and luckily Lori survived, and she was happy she survived. Her shirt was a bit torn, and the same with Lincoln's, and then she noticed the mess she made on the road. She started to fear what Lynn Sr. would do to her because she basically wrecked the van. Then she noticed Lincoln's body in the wreckage. She panicked and grabbed Lincoln out of fear. Lori yelled in fear, and tears were streaming down her face at this point. She realized Lincoln was not waking up. Blood poured from his back, and Lori screamed again in fear. It cut to the Loud sisters, except Lori watching the news. It then cut to the car crash point of the news, and Lori wasn't there, but she was in her room. The sisters couldn't help but to cry when the news said that Lincoln was dead. He died? Lana yelled. Apparently so, Luann responded. It then cut to a black screen. After 7 seconds of that, it faded to a funeral with Lincoln's friends, his sisters, the students who were in his class, and relatives of Lincoln. Crying noises could be heard from literally everywhere. Heck, I even heard it behind me. It was like I was there. But I ended up crying myself in the end because Lincoln was my favorite Loud House character. It then faded to a blue screen and a Filipino text that read, Ay kung hind lang suga nagtext habang nega makaro kung gayon baka ba pasaya. And then simply cut to copyright Nickelodeon 2015 before fading to black for 8 seconds before cutting to another commercial break. I translated it, and it translated to, "Oh, if only she didn't text while driving, then maybe he would have still been alive." "Yes," I cried, if you couldn't tell. I then noticed it was spread into a small portion of the Loud House fandom because only a certain amount of people got it. I was one of them, however. 45 minutes after I witnessed the PSA, I heard the same crying noises for at least 23 seconds before fading away. Every hour at the 50-minute mark, I heard it for 23 seconds. After me hearing it 5 times and getting sick of it, I yelled stop at the noise to hope it worked. It did, luckily. To this day, I never bring it up. Ever. I still like the show, however.